Kurt Bardella. He's got a long resume, but it's not in the teleprompter, so I'm not reading it. NewsNation contributor. Good to see you as always. Just in the past hour or so, Kurt, word from CBS News reporting that President Biden will offer asylum, citizenship path, on and on and on, to some Gazans to be resettled here in the United States. Does that help him enough with the left to offset how much it will anger the center or scare them?
No. I mean here's the reality. There is nothing at this point that realistically President Biden can do that will appease the left, which is why I think he should stop trying to even do that. It's a fool's errand. No matter what you do, it's never going to be enough for them. So stop worrying about them. Trust the fact that by the time we get to November, they will come back home, because nothing has a more motivating impact on the left than Donald Trump's name on a ballot, in my opinion. Just do what makes the most sense. Move back to the middle here, because right now there are a ton of parents watching these shows that are watching what's happening on these campuses, and he's going to lose them all if their kids' graduations get derailed.
Yeah, we're going to keep the live pictures up just so we see what's happening, and hopefully get whoever it is standing in front of our camera out of the way. Polling on this, Scott, do you favor or oppose a permanent ceasefire in Gaza? Favor 70%, oppose 30%. Would you favor or oppose that ceasefire if it meant that Hamas was allowed to continue to hold hostages and Hamas were to continue to run Gaza? It flips now. Oppose 68%, favor 32%. How read in are Americans, for lack of a better term, on the nuances of these things?
Well, to answer your question, somewhat. They have opinion, right? There are a lot of issues where you might have 20 to 30% of the people say they don't even have an opinion on that. Clearly they do on this. The one number that's not on your screen that I'd like to point out, when we look at all polls, whether it's right-leaning polls, left-leaning polls, nonpartisan polls, our own polls we do here at NewsNation, this issue doesn't rank in the top 5. The number one issue is the thing we've always been talking about the last couple of years, inflation in the economy. So when the voters look at this, unless you're a very core Democratic voter, you're like, what are we talking about here?
Hold on. I understand when they look at Israel and Gaza and the nuance of how many hostages come home and everything else, although I think, Americans held hostages is still a thing, but I digress. But what about when they look at the pictures on the screen of the American flag being torn down at the University of North Carolina and kids breaking into Columbia University and riot police and this sense of disorder? I'll tell you, Joe Scarborough, not nearly as well-dressed as you are ever. But he does disagree. Take a listen.
The people that were burning down college campuses, the people that were taking over presidents' offices, those people are now on the faculty senate, trying to encourage these students to do the same. They helped elect Nixon. I guess they want to elect Donald Trump in 24. Good on you guys.
Okay. All right. So you're laughing because I think you agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Where is Chuck Schumer? Where is Kirsten Gillibrand? Where is Kathy Hochul trying to run a little bit of interference for the White House on this?
Yeah, it's interesting. We've seen a lot of political figures outside of the New York delegation airdrop into Columbia
Speaker
University.
Of the House. Yeah.
Where is the New York delegation? I mean, this is the most important thing happening in your state right now, and you need to be out there forcefully showing some leadership, because you cannot surrender that to other politicians who aren't even in your state or district. I don't understand what they're doing.
Is there polling on this that there's sort of this intense fear from the left? Is there enough polling to show that there really is a left flank that somebody like Chuck Schumer needs to be worried about, or Joe Biden needs to be worried about?
Yeah, where it is a salient issue is among the 18 to 35-year-old left-leaning, very
female.
Male, female, certainly that crowd. Certainly the crowd that watches all the TikTok videos. Certainly more people watch those TikTok videos than watch Joe Scarborough. A little more influential on that side. That's really where this is. It is very core to their base. It hurts their fundraising. And Joe Biden can't say the things he needs to say to shore that up without angering and allowing fundraising for Donald Trump and the right.
Now, you almost wonder if you could kind of just actually end this and you have 6 months to
That's exactly what he wants to happen. He wants to change the subject. That's what it is. Talk about something he wants to talk about, the economy.
Well, but he hasn't been able to talk for the past 2 days.
Well, and let's remember, though, in the not-too-distant future, college will be over for the year.
College will be over, and I'm going to take the last word. But Chicago is coming, and there's a little history of protests in Chicago during the DNC. Gentlemen, good to see both of you. Thank you very much.